I'm 30 years old, and I've been a forest ranger for almost a decade now. I work in a remote part of northern Oregon, mostly near the Cascade foothills. It's a quiet job, and honestly, that's what I like about it. I live about 20 miles from the park headquarters, in a small cabin I built myself. No neighbors, no traffic, just trees and silence. I've always loved the forest, the solitude, the stillness. There's something ancient and calming about walking alone beneath towering pines, hearing nothing but wind and your own footsteps. But there's a part of the forest I don't go near anymore. And if you're smart, you won't either. There's a trail barely used these days, called Whistler's Hollow. It's an old service route from before the park was fully mapped, somewhere around Sector 19. Most of the newer rangers don't even know it exists, the ones who do avoid it. They call it the Eye. The first time I was assigned to patrol it was in late autumn, just as the leaves were falling and the fog was rolling in early every evening. I remember my supervisor giving me this weird look when I pulled the assignment, like he wanted to say something, but didn't. "You'll be fine," he said too casually. "Just a quiet trail. Radio in when you hit marker 12. Marker 12 never came. The first few miles were like any other. Dense woods, narrow path, silence except for the crunch of leaves. Then, little by little, things started to feel wrong. It started with the animals, or rather, the lack of them. I didn't hear a single bird, no rustling in the bushes, not even squirrels, just complete and total silence. At one point, I stopped walking and listened. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was unnatural. I know how the woods sound when they're alive. This was something else, like the entire forest was holding its breath. Around mile 4, I spotted something that made my stomach twist. A tree, twisted and gnarled like lightning had hit it, but burned into the bark was a symbol. It was an eye, wide open, roughly the size of a man's head. It wasn't carved or painted. It looked scorched, but the tree wasn't damaged. No fire damage, no charring, just that black, deep eye, watching. I remember stepping closer. My hand hovered just above it, and I swear, the bark was warm. Not just warm from sunlight. It was like touching skin. That's when I got this sudden, overwhelming urge to leave. Not just to turn back, to run, but I didn't. I'm not proud of that. Part of me didn't want to look like a coward, even alone in the woods. I kept going. That's when the whispering started. At first I thought it was the wind. It wasn't. It was low, soft, almost like someone muttering just beyond earshot. I turned in every direction. No one. But the sound seemed to follow me, always just behind me, always too faint to understand. Then the forest changed. The trees became closer together. The canopy grew thicker. It felt like the daylight was fading too fast, like something was pulling the sun down early. My radio started crackling. Then it went dead. I checked my GPS, blank, nothing but static. I wasn't lost. I knew the direction I'd come, but the trail had disappeared. There was no path behind me anymore. I stood there, breathing heavy, trying to calm down. That's when I saw it. In the distance, maybe 30 yards ahead, there was a figure, just standing there between two trees, tall, still, watching. I called out. No response. I raised my flashlight and shone it directly at the figure, but there was nothing. No one. Just empty space. I turned back around. The trail was back, like it had never vanished. I didn't waste time. I walked fast, borderline jogging, until I was out of that part of the forest. The air felt lighter as I moved. Birds returned. I saw a fox dart across the trail. Everything felt normal again. That night, I had a dream. I was standing in a clearing I didn't recognize. The trees around me were bent inward, forming a near-perfect circle. Each trunk had that same eye burned into it, hundreds of them, blinking in unison. And in the middle, something massive was rising from the ground. It had no face, just limbs, branches for arms, roots for legs, and those eyes, dozens of them, across its torso, all open, all staring at me. I woke up choking. My nose was bleeding. My shirt was damp with sweat. The next morning, I called my supervisor and requested a transfer out of Sector 19. He didn't even ask why, just signed the form and told me, "You're not the first." That stuck with me, so I did some digging. I found old reports hidden deep in the archives. At least 3 rangers had reported strange sensations or hallucinations in that area. One went missing. His name was Daniel Simmons. The last entry in his field log, dated July 9th, 2004, simply read, "It sees me." No one ever found him. A few weeks later, I got a call from Search and Rescue. A hiker had gone missing near the old Whistler's Hollow route. We launched a sweep. I went reluctantly, sticking to the safer perimeter. We found his gear, backpack, water bottle, a phone with no battery, but no sign of the man himself. What we did find was another tree, the same eye burned into the bark. But this time, below it, were scratches, deep gouges in the wood, like fingernails, like someone had tried to claw their way into the tree or out of it. I haven't gone near that trail since, but sometimes, when I'm alone in my cabin, I hear the wind shift. I hear branches creak, and for a moment, it feels like the forest is breathing, watching, remembering me. And on some nights, the dream returns. The clearing, the trees, the circle of eyes, the thing rising from the earth, closer each time. And I know that one day, I might not wake up.